Ever wondered how Rolex keeps tabs on their watches, even after they're sold? We'll explore 3 key ways Rolex does this, revealing the mystery behind what many watch enthusiasts have been curious about. But don't worry, we won't give away all the details just yet. You'll want to stick around to learn the intriguing ins and outs of this topic. By watching until the end, you'll discover how Rolex maintains its reputation for exclusivity and what it means for both the brand and its passionate community of collectors. With the increasing difficulty of buying Rolex watches and their limited availability, the topic of selling a Rolex watch you've purchased from an official Rolex store has become more talked about. Many folks who aren't very familiar with the Rolex market might be surprised to learn that selling a recently purchased Rolex is a sensitive subject. But the truth is, the Rolex watch market is quite unique in several ways. And before we delve into how Rolex figures out if you've sold your watch, let's first understand why they would even need to know. So, how does Rolex determine if you've sold your watch before? Due to the high demand for Rolex watches, there's been a growing discussion about flippers, people who sell their watches right after buying them. Whether this is a real problem or not is a matter of debate. However, there have been reports suggesting that Rolex is actively trying to identify those who flip their watches. Whether this is accurate, only Rolex can say for sure. Nevertheless, we've heard from reliable sources that this is happening, which wouldn't be surprising given Rolex's desire to see their watches go to end customers. Additionally, some authorized Rolex retailers, while technically not Rolex themselves, have hired individuals to search online for people who have sold watches purchased from their stores. In some cases, customers have been banned from buying more watches from these retailers after it was discovered that they sold highly sought-after watches. Rolex can determine if you've flipped a watch through 3 primary methods. The most common method is when they spot a watch with its unique serial number being listed online. Using this serial number, Rolex can trace which authorized dealer originally sold that watch and contact them to let them know that one of their customers is selling the watch. When the AD becomes aware of this, they may decide to blacklist you. This is why most online ads conceal the serial number and are discreet about the AD, where the watch was purchased. It's not just Rolex itself keeping an eye out for watches being sold online. An increasing number of Rolex retailers actively search the internet for watches they've sold. Some retailers have even hired new staff members, whose main job is to scour online ads to identify customers selling their watches and take appropriate action. Retailers usually focus on local online marketplaces, where their customers are most likely to advertise these watches. If a Rolex retailer spots a watch they've sold, they might blacklist the customer, or at least inform them that they are aware the watch has been sold. Another method through which a Rolex retailer may discover that you've sold your watch is if someone brings the watch to their store for authentication. This scenario isn't uncommon, especially when you sell the watch locally. For instance, suppose you purchase a Rolex watch and then list it for sale on a local marketplace. If someone in your area buys the watch and later decides to have it checked for authenticity, they might visit the same retailer where you originally bought it. In this case, the store would become aware that you've sold the watch. A similar situation may arise at a later stage, for instance, when the watch requires servicing or repairs. If the person who purchased your watch takes it to the same retailer for maintenance, the store may again become aware of the watch's resale. To mitigate the risk of this happening, one strategy is to ensure that the watch you sell ends up far away from where you initially bought it. This is particularly relevant in smaller countries with only a limited number of authorized dealers. If you sell your Rolex locally in such a country, there's a higher chance that someone may eventually visit the same AD with the watch. To avoid this, it can be a prudent move to sell the watch outside your country or region, reducing the likelihood of it coming back to the original AD's attention. In addition to the methods previously mentioned, there's another way Rolex might find out if you've sold your watch. When a customer contacts the authorized dealer to verify the authenticity of their purchase. This typically occurs when a buyer wants to ensure that their newly acquired Rolex is indeed genuine. However, Rolex's ability to track these inquiries has been affected by a significant change they introduced in 2020. The latest warranty card design no longer displays the name of the original retailer who sold the watch. As a result, it has become more challenging for Rolex and its dealers to trace the history of a watch back to its initial sale. It's essential to understand that Rolex cannot ascertain watch sales through the warranty card. The warranty is tied to the watch itself, not the individual owner. This means Rolex does not maintain records or registers that indicate when a specific watch has been sold or transferred, distinguishing them from some other watch brands. The dynamics of the Rolex watch market, particularly regarding the practice of flipping watches and the enforcement of rules by both Rolex and its authorized retailers, are continuously evolving. To help maintain your privacy when selling a Rolex, here are some practical tips. Refrain from disclosing the serial number when advertising your watch online. Keep the serial number on the warranty card hidden. Hide the retailer's name if your warranty card is an older version that includes it. Obscure the purchase date on the warranty card. Avoid sharing receipts that indicate the original seller. Consider selling your watch in a different region or even abroad to reduce the chances of it returning to your original AD. And if the watch comes with an older warranty card, suggest to the buyer that they contact a different authorized dealer for authenticity checks rather than the exact retailer. Rolex's desire is for their official retailers to sell watches to end consumers who will cherish and use them for many years. When customers quickly resell their newly acquired Rolex watches, it runs counter to Rolex's intentions. Since Rolex does not engage in the second-hand market, they have limited control over the distribution of their watches in the resale market. This can pose challenges for individuals genuinely interested in wearing and enjoying specific Rolex models, as obtaining them becomes more difficult. This situation has led to widespread complaints, resulting in dissatisfied customers and frustration with the Rolex brand, a situation that is clearly not in Rolex's best interest. However, from a business perspective, having a demand that consistently exceeds supply can be beneficial, particularly for luxury brands, as it enhances the exclusivity and desirability of their products. It should be noted that Rolex is unable to determine whether a watch is sold through the warranty card. The warranty always associated with the watch and never with an individual. Unlike other brands such as Audemars Piguet or Cartier, which require you to link the watch to your account, Rolex does not maintain ownership registers that track when a timepiece is sold or transferred. The current state of the Rolex watch market, including the issue of flipping and the enforcement of regulations by both official Rolex retailers and Rolex itself, merits considerable discussion. However, this subject matter has been designated for a separate video that may be forthcoming. Therefore, remain tuned to the Luxury Focus for updates. And that concludes our video for today. If you want to stay ahead with all of the latest news and happenings in the world of luxury watches, do like and subscribe to Luxury Focus. Thanks for watching and see you at the next one.